In this video, we'll work on Ruth chapter 4, verse 17, only one verse, because we're actually going to clean up something that I mentioned earlier. This video series is almost finished, and before we end, I want to clean up an issue I mentioned several videos ago. So let's start this verse. Okay, we need the word neighbor. Okay, Naomi's neighbors. There should be a Saxon genitive. Okay, neighbors Naomi's said, Naomi has a son. The women who are living near Naomi said. Okay, we have a couple of issues here. Here, the MTTs didn't want to use the word neighbor, so they turned off. We turned off the complex concept insertion rule for neighbor. But I want to point out something else here. Neighbors Naomi's. This is a Saxon genitive, but if you look at NP location and phrase, it's unspecified. And the reason is, normally, that feature is set way up here by a rule that we copy from the library. Specify position of embedded noun phrases. Normally, this rule specifies pre-head genitive or post-head genitive. But this rule is executed, and then the complex concept insertion rules are executed. So neighbor was put in, and the generic genitive was converted to Saxon, but it's too late. There is no, the rule that specifies the NP location phrase has already been executed. So we really want to execute this later. And I mentioned several videos ago, there's essentially the exact same rule down here, which isn't good. We shouldn't have two rules that are essentially the same and doing the same task in two different places. So in this video, we're going to clean this up. We're going to transfer what's in this rule to this rule down here. So for body part, we set it to pre-head genitive. Composed of, we set to post-head genitive. For generic genitive, pre-head. Okay, now this rule here doesn't have generic genitive. So let's add a layer. I'm going to go back to layer 2. Right now we're on layer 2 of 17. I'm going to say copy this structure. So now we're on 3 of 18. And we'll say add words. Okay, generic genitive isn't here, so we say entire ontology. We select it. We deselect composed of. Okay. And now for generic genitive, we say pre-head. Pre-head. Okay. For group, we say pre-head. For kinship, we say pre-head. For made of, we say position is made of, and we set the noun to singular. For named, we say post-head. For nationality, we say pre-head. For owner, we say prehead. For part whole, we say posthead. That's of phrase initial, of phrase initial. For quantity, we say prehead. Okay, this has realm of authority, this has region. This one will have region next. So this one doesn't have realm. So let's make a copy of number 11. So right now we're on layer 11 of 18. Copy this. Now we're on 12 of 19. We will select realm of authority. And we'll deselect quantity. Okay, so now this is realm of authority. And we say posthead. That's of phrase initial, of phrase initial. Okay, region of authority, we say posthead. Subgroup. Okay, subgroup doesn't actually go into noun phrases. Subgroup belongs in adjective phrases, so it's correct over here. And here we're going to select, for the adjective phrase, we're going to say subgroup. Okay, title is prehead. And we want this to apply to all titles, not just king. So we're going to remove the word king. Let's go back. Okay. So this is prehead. Okay, that's the end. So now we've transferred everything from this rule to this rule. These are more generic. These were added. Okay, kind. Like 3 kinds of fruit. This is prehead. Name, that's an explanation of a name. That's a sort of a special situation. Okay, part whole is prehead. Okay, so let's save this, and we'll close this. And now we're going to turn this rule off. Okay, so this rule is off. So now we should get the same results. Naomi's neighbors said. So now this is proper, but we still don't want the neighbors. We want the women who are living near Naomi. So let's turn off the rule. Let's block the rule for neighbor for this particular verse. So we're going to block this rule for Ruth 4:17. Okay, generated text is identical. Okay, the women named that baby. They named that baby. That's fine. Text is identical. Text is identical. Identical. And that's the last sentence. Okay, generated text is identical. Let's save it, and in the next video, we'll finish the book of Ruth.